We're moving my son Jake into his apartment at the University of Arizona tomorrow and Friday. And then we're moving my son Kemp into his apartment on Sunday in Honolulu, Hawaii. So a couple days ago, I said to Blake, I said, Tuesday, I got nothing going on. Why don't I jump in the car with Jake and kind of do like a preliminary, like bring some light stuff, just fill up my car with some stuff. And she's like, that's not a bad idea. So yesterday, Jake and I jumped in my car with a buddy of his, and we drove to his apartment. Now, it's not a dorm. It's an apartment complex. And I haven't seen it yet. Blake went with Jake at the end of the school year and got this place. And I've never seen anything like this before. This must be the new thing going on at schools, but it's this beautiful apartment complex. And you walk in, and so in the lobby downstairs, there's flat screen TVs, right? And Friends was playing on the flat screen. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Friends is playing. But the whole layout of the area of where Friends was playing is like they copied the Friends set of the Central Perk.
That's cool. Fun.
Like I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like Friends. It's like the same type of sofas, except bigger. There's like 3 or 4 sofas. There's like a barista there. There's whatever. I was like, well, this is neat. Then there's the gym with Pelotons and that mirror thing, right? There's the weight sets, the beautiful weight sets, Stairmasters, treadmills. I'm like, what? This is part of it. Then there's the mailroom. Then you get in the elevator, we go to his room, and his room is just sweet, right? It's this great room. Then we go upstairs, and upstairs on the roof, there's a pool and a hot tub. There's boxing, the big heavy bags. There's pull-up bars. There's barbecue grills on the roof.
That's
I'm like,
cool.
what the hell, right? So
why would you ever come home if you're that
that's
college kid?
exactly what we talked about.
I got to stay here. Don't come home.
Living the life.
So the official move-in time was on Sunday when people could be moving in, right? So obviously lots of people were moving in, and we were taking our time moving in. We're going to move in on Thursday, Friday. So people are already moved in and living there. So at one point, when Jake was like, Dad, let me show you the roof. So we get up on the roof, and I put this video on my TikTok because here's what happened. He showed me the roof, and he's showing his buddy the barbecue grills, and there's these beautiful women laying out at the pool, right, in their bikinis. And I'm like, Jake, take a look at and he's like, I know. Like, he's got to be cool. He's like looking at the grill, right? So I'm like, all right. So anyway, when it's time to leave, and we're by the elevators. There's 2 elevators, and we're by the elevators, and it's him and I are talking, and you hear in one elevator like the bass of music, dush, 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 and you hear screaming like woo, dush, 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 and it's coming up closer, and closer, and I just grab my phone and I hit record, and I'm like, I'm gonna see what comes out of this elevator. I don't know what's coming out of the elevator. Opens, and that's what's on my TikTok, and it's like bikini. Dude with a 6-pack, dude with a bottle of tequila, bikini. The elevator people kept coming out of this elevator, and I was like, oh my God. And then I turned to get in the elevator, and the elevator closes. Like the elevators, they don't stay open for a second. You got to get in. And then we had to wait forever. But I was like, man. So I've been giving my son Kemp speeches about distractions in Honolulu. I go, when you're in Hawaii, I'm like, you got lots of distractions. Like, you focus on schoolwork and focus on basketball. You've got the beach, you've got hiking, you've got, surfing, waterfalls, cliff jumping, girls, motorcycle ride. There's so much stuff to do in Honolulu. I go, there's many, many distractions. I go, so please, focus on school and basketball. And he's like, right. I go, but it's a whole island of stuff to do in Hawaii. There's a reason it's the #1 vacation destination in the world. To Jake, I'm like, I got to give you the distraction speech, but they're just all in your building.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything's in your building, man.
It's kind of amazing, though.
It's unavoidable, though. I mean,
Absolutely.
but he should enjoy it. That's
For sure.
kind of part of the college experience.
Yeah, but it's all right there. It's like normally, like when I went to college with those same distractions, but you had to go find them.
You just have to go upstairs.
They were like in campus. You had to, is there a part? Like, and then there's like this thing up by the elevator of every event going on in the building that day. And then here's the thing. There's another building across the street that's unrelated, but it's the exact same setup. And they also have thousands of people in there partying.
So look, you're saying it's not even part of the campus? It's just
it's part of the campus.
Oh, okay.
It's a different building. It's connected to the campus, but they also have all the same functions and all the. It's different than when I went to school.
That's so fun, though.
It is, but
It's so fun.
Just keep your grades up,
For sure. Yeah, stay on top of it, but that's dope.
Hey, C's get degrees.
I'm with you, Kyle. I'm with you.
Live it up now, otherwise he's going to have a midlife crisis because he didn't live it out in college.
I have a friend of mine who went to the same college, and he happens to be a billionaire, literally a billionaire. And he said to me, and he said to my son, he goes, the A's teach the B's to work for the C's.
There you go.
I was like, that is the best advice I've ever heard. I go, that's great. So tear it up. But I also like C's get degrees. You don't want that if that's your doctor. But you walk into your doctor's office and that's on the wall and piece of wood. C's get degrees. Yo, what's up?
Around here, we're good enough to not kill you.
I got a stethoscope somewhere. Speaking of doctors, yesterday at this time I was telling you about my oxygen machine.
Yeah.
That you don't need.
I don't need the oxygen machine.
Turns out we have oxygen here on Earth that's free to breathe.
Yes, but it's not that pure of oxygen. It's not, right? So there's an oxygen machine that I have, somebody gave me that gives you, I don't know the percentage. And I didn't run it by my doctor. So I texted I'm seeing my doctor today, but I texted my doctor and I said, check out this machine. And I said, can I, is this good for me? Can I use it? And she said to me, in fact, I'm going to read you exactly what she said to me. She says, because I also have sleep apnea, right? So I have a CPAP machine which I have to use. I used to sleep at night. She goes, it's called an oxygen concentrator, and yes, turn the dial till it's near the 2 and bleed it through your CPAP. Is your Oura Ring connected to the O2 stats, and it will confirm that it's helping you or not? She goes, I love it. Do it. So I was like, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. So now I got to get an adapter to somehow hook up this oxygen tank to my breathing machine when I go to sleep at night.
How in the world are you
going to Michael
travel?
Jackson propofol, or I'm going to wake up, because I did a lot of it. I did oxygen last night before I went to sleep, and I was breathing oxygen. Then I went upstairs, put my CPAP on, went to sleep, and I had like really good deep sleep on my ring.
So how long does your oxygen tank last?
As long as it's plugged in, I think. As
So
long as I
it's
have it on.
just, I'm confused on how that works. It's not like an actual legit tank.
I would think it would run out at
Yeah,
some
it
point.
would have to
Kind of
run
like a
out.
helium tank.
Yeah.
No, see, I think you can do that, but this is like, I think, plugged into the wall, and just the machine makes oxygen. Like it just takes whatever's in the air. I'm sure it's not 100% oxygen, but it's more than what we're breathing here.
Gotcha.
So we'll see what happens.
You might as well bring it into the show and take little hits off it before we go on the radio. That's the next step.
Well, I thought of that too, but then it's like, I'd rather have it hooked up to my machine, so it helped me get deep sleep. But it also makes me tired, so I don't want to be on here like, and then go, all right, coming up,
Yeah, we appreciate that.